Greetings and welcome to the 30th episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters, where we take a look at a variety of house mods from around the lands of Cyrodiil as we try and find your dream home in the Imperial province. As always, I'm your host, Elf Guy, and today we're going to be taking a look at a selection of houses from the capital itself, the Imperial City. These span from small apartments to fallen estates on the Imperial City Island, so if you've ever wanted to live in the heart of Imperial civilization, hopefully you'll find something of interest in today's episode. And as always, download links and timestamp annotations can be found in the video description below. So let's go ahead and get started with our popular house mod of the week, which this week is your Imperial City house mod by Pigface. And this mod adds a new townhouse to the Imperial City in the Talos Plaza district, sort of built into the, outer wall here, including a really nice set of gardens right out front. And these gardens just sort of, give the property a sort of vibrant appearance, just when compared to the more drab and pale grey of the surrounding buildings. And this home is basically free for the taking. You'll have to get the key, but, that just involves going out to the Imperial Bridge and collecting it off of the previous owner's corpse. So there's not really a whole lot of effort involved. And real quick, you can see this home on the map here, and again, it's in the Talos Plaza district. And no, it doesn't really have a map marker, but also doesn't really need one, being in the heart of the Imperial City and all that. But going on inside here, this is a pretty typical Imperial-style townhouse, with a dining room, storage, and a few display cases here right off the main entrance. And outside of the extra storage chests, this could really be a room from any home in the Imperial City. But moving on upstairs, you'll find the master bedroom, along with altars of spellmaking and enchanting, and a bit more storage and display space. And there's plenty of room here for you to just, add your own decorations if you so desire. Now, down in the basement, you'll find a fair bit of storage, as well as a training room, with a number of practice dummies and archery targets that you can use and all that. And there's actually a bit more to this house than you might think, since there's also a sub-basement, including a small display hall with a balcony overlooking another training room, or I guess you could call it a training pit, with a number of creatures that you can fight. And, this is a pretty old mod. It was first released in 2006 as one of the first house mods released for the Imperial City, but it still, kind of holds up pretty well. And all in all, this is a small but relatively scenic little home in the Talos Plaza district, which includes a number of convenience features, like, altars of enchanting and spellmaking, a training room, plenty of storage, and a display hall. And, this is really an ideal home for those looking for a more, I would say, urban home that isn't too big or intrusive. And moving on, for our new house mod of the week this week, we have Elvenwatch Manor by MadTod. And now this one starts out when you buy the deed for a manor in the Elven Gardens district, and this deed will set you back about 17,000 gold or so, which is perhaps a bit moderately, expensive. And you can see this home here. It's on a sort of dead-end street in the Elven Gardens district, built along the outer wall of the Imperial City. And to take a look at the map here, once again there's no map marker for this home, but it's located pretty much right on top of the Elven Gardens district map marker, so it really doesn't matter much. And again, it has a pretty short commute to the market district. And to going inside, once more you'll find what is basically a fairly typical Imperial-style townhouse, including a dining room and sidebar here on the first floor. And there's a surprising amount of just, booze along the bar here, so you'll have plenty of drinks for company. But anyway, heading on downstairs, you'll find a bit more, space that you can use, including a magic lab with altars of enchanting and spellmaking, as well as an alchemy lab with a set of alchemical equipment, and a few display cases and containers to, throw your various magical-related items into, if you so desire. And also down in the basement, you'll find a small training room with the typical sort of, training equipment that you might expect. And again, a few more display cases and cabinets for storage and all that. Now, checking out the master bedroom, this is a fairly nice size and open-air room with two massive bookcases that are completely empty and perfectly suited for, just displaying items. And of course, there's also a small study, a master bed, and a bit of storage in here as well. And all in all, this is another small house mod, but with a number of convenience features, such as an alchemy lab, altars of enchanting and spellmaking, a training room, storage, and since this home is in the Elven Gardens district, and has a pretty short commute into, the market district, it's perhaps a little bit on the expensive side, but otherwise it's a really nice, just little home for those looking for a small place to call their own in the Imperial City. Finally, our underrated house mod of the week this week is Imperial City Manor by Elora QwkSilvr, and now this is going to be by far the largest mod in today's lineup, and it adds a new walled-in estate that's sort of connected to the Imperial City here, and you can find a road going to it just past the stables outside of the Talos Plaza gates, including a personal set of stables for your own horses or what have you, and a little shack for one of the estate's groundkeepers. Just heading into the estate proper though, you'll find this is a fairly big and really quite scenic property, with a large walled-in area of just scenic tree-lined paths, a small pond that you can sit by and, just admire the view, or go for a swim in if you want. A small shrine and also the main groundskeeper's house. And yes, this mall does come with, I believe it's 2 or maybe 3 NPC servants. There's also access to the Elven Gardens district with a gate that goes directly into the Imperial city. But the main feature here is, of course, the main Manor house, which is a modest-sized property sort of in the middle of this walled compound, including a set of gardens to the side, where you'll find a few vineyards, as well as a couple of other vegetable patches here and there, all of which is just, really quite scenic. And you can see this house on the map here, and this one does actually come with its own map marker, so you can just fast travel directly to it. And again, it has a pretty short commute into the city. And now just heading on inside, this is a fairly big house, and again you'll note there's an NPC servant just passing through here. I think one of them works on the first level of this abode, I believe. But anyway, the main entry hall here contains a lovely little, lounge area with a roaring fireplace, as well as a sizable dining room. And off to the side here, you'll find a cozy little kitchen, with an oven, food preparation tables, and a small dining table for, the servants to use. And anyway, just going upstairs, you'll find a set of personal quarters for you to use as well, including your own private lounge area with a fireplace, a small study, and a couple of display cases that you can use. And, I must say that this is a really just nicely finished abode, largely pre-decorated already, but, really quite cozy looking. And of course, it does come with a master bedroom, and there's actually 2 bedrooms here that are basically the same size. One for you to use, and I guess there's one for an NPC companion if you, just happen to have one. And now there's also a small magical lab here, including a sort of library with a set of alchemical equipment, and also a number of containers that you can use for, storing your magical experiments and all that. And just moving on down to the basement, you'll naturally find a fair bit of storage down here, as well as a sort of smithy with a forge and anvil and, everything. And apparently this is normally staffed with an NPC who can just repair your gear. But moving on, there's apparently quite a bit of space down here, including a lot more storage and also a number of bedrooms, about 2 or 3 in total. And I think these might already, be in use by NPC servants. But otherwise, I guess there's a fair number of guest bedrooms down here. And real quick, we're going to stop by the groundskeeper's cottage, which is a really cozy and atmospheric little abode where you'll normally find, some of the servants during their off hours. And overall, this is a really beautiful and scenic estate, ideally situated on the Imperial City Island, with a short commute into town, and a number of convenience features like a magical lab with alchemical equipment, plenty of storage, guest bedrooms, and just some really nice views of the property. This is a really nice and atmospheric home that should be perfectly suited to just about everyone, I would think, especially those looking for something just a bit bigger than the other mods we looked at today. And, I would just recommend checking it out. And that pretty much wraps up this episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters. As always, you'll find down the links down below. And just real quick, I should mention that we're going to be moving this series onto a new sort of twice-a-month schedule, so you'll get a new episode about every, I would say, 3 weeks or so. But anyway, with that out of the way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time!